Hi there. Welcome to the How to Market Your Horse Business podcast. I'm so glad you're here today. My name is Denise Alvarez, and before we jump into talking about social media today, I wanted to first just introduce myself in case for new friends. So I have a business called Storm Lily Marketing, where I get to help horse business owners like you to turn your website visitors into your customers. I do that through coaching, as well as website design and content, email marketing strategy, and my new Social Stride membership. I do each of these things so that you can be out in the barn doing what you love to do, or out in the arena, or wherever it is that you love to work with your horses. Because I know that while marketing may be a necessity for business owners, it's maybe not what brings you joy. Or if it is, maybe you just don't have a ton of time to do it. And so on this podcast, I love to give you some step-by-step strategies and basic how-tos to help you not only see what's possible when you market your horse business, but to guide you through that process and help you make it happen. So as I said, today we are chatting about social media. Now, maybe you're on social media. Actually, let's back up. I'm going to assume for this podcast that if you're listening, you're already on there in some form or fashion. Maybe you're posting regularly 3, 4, 5, 6 times a week, and that's awesome. I applaud you on your consistency. And maybe you're not, but today we're actually not talking about the content that you're posting. Instead, we are talking about engaging with people on social media, building those relationships with your dream customer in particular, because we're on there as a business, right? Now, I always say that people buy from people. So we are talking about how you can engage with people. And the reason we want to do that is because social media, as you've heard me say before, is social. That means that you need to create content. Yes, it's a very important piece of your puzzle, but it's not the only piece of our social media marketing puzzle. It's definitely not the only piece that matters when it comes to building your business using social media, which we all know and love because it is a great free avenue for connecting with those dream customers, right? But here's the thing. The social part means that you also need to take time to engage with people on the platform that you're on. Now, when I'm saying engagement on this episode, it's really just another way of saying that you should be connecting with people. Because I want to clarify that, because you have heard me talk on the podcast before about creating engaging content, right? But today I'm not talking about the idea of engagement in terms of what you're creating. Instead, in this episode, we're talking about the idea of you actually engaging with and connecting with people on the platform. So what does that look like? Well, that's exactly why you're here, right? We're going to dive into that today. I'm going to share with you 3 specific and practical ways that you can engage on social media. Now, you will hear me reference Instagram and Facebook most on this episode because that's where a large majority of the engagement is happening right now. And as I talk with horse business owners, that's often what I'm hearing from them, right? But if you're on LinkedIn or TikTok or YouTube or anything else that is a social media platform, you can still apply the principles you're going to learn today, okay? Now, one word of caution for you. Do not create an expectation for yourself that as one person that is trying to build this business, you are going to spend 10 minutes every day engaging inside of every single one of these platforms that you are present on. The reason I'm saying that is I don't want you to start off overwhelmed. Instead, I want you to pick the platform or maybe 2 platforms that are giving you the best return on your investment or that you believe will, because you know that's where your ideal or best fit audience is already hanging out. I want you to focus on those, okay? My goal here is not ever, no matter what episode you're listening to, my goal is for you to never walk away feeling overwhelmed. I want you to feel equipped, empowered, and encouraged, okay? So one way you can do that is to make sure you set your expectations. Yes, you know I love goal setting and we'll talk about that, but don't set them to the point where you will never do it and you feel overwhelmed just thinking about it, okay? All right, so let's jump in. How do you engage with your dream customer on social media? Let's look at 3 ideas that I have for you, some easy ways that you can start applying today. So engagement idea number 1 is for you to send direct messages to your new followers. Most of the time you're getting notifications depending on how you have it set up, but it should be fairly easy for you to find out how you have new followers or when you have new followers and who they are. So I'm not going to give you the how-to on that. If you're not sure, Google it. It's a notification setting, okay? But here's what I want you to remember in this process. We are not sending messages for the purpose of selling, okay? My intention for you and telling you to send messages is to serve, right? You know that I always say serve before you sell. I want you to serve and I want you to focus on building that relationship. Here's why. It can be very tempting to look at every new follower, especially when you're really focused and you're trying so hard, and I know that you are. It can be really tempting to look at those new followers, frankly, as a walking dollar sign, right? I know that you're a business and I totally get that. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to look at each new follower as a person. Even honestly, if it's a business account or an association that starts to follow you, there's a person behind every business that you can connect with, okay? So what do you say when you're sending these messages? That may be what you're sitting here thinking, okay, Denise, I get it, but what in the world am I supposed to say? Well, first, before you even send a message, I want you to take a moment to look at their feed. Now, of course, if it's a private account, you're not going to be able to do that, and depending on the platform and how it's set up. But oftentimes, especially on Instagram, maybe less so on Facebook, you can see a portion of their feed. You can see some pictures and posts. And so I want you to do that and try to get to know just a bit about that person, okay? Do a quick look, read a couple of posts, maybe leave a comment, like a post. Remember, we're here to give and build that relationship. So now that you've done that, it's time to send a quick message. Now, I'm going to share with you a brief template. This is an idea. You do not have to follow this exactly, but it will help you have a nice flow, okay? All right, so one thing you can do is start out by just saying, thanks for following, right? And you can say, it's great to meet you here on whatever platform it is that you're on. And then I want you to find a connection point. You can say, I was just checking out your newsfeed. I was just checking out your profile or your videos, and mention something that stood out to you. Maybe there's a place where you all connect, that you notice something that you both share a commonality. Mention that right there in your message, okay? It's going to let them know, again, that you are personally reaching out to thank them for following. And then you can invite connection or conversation. So especially if you find a point where you're finding something in common, then you can invite that conversation. Or you can just say, I love to help people with XYZ. So if you ever need anything, please feel free to reach out. I hope what you find here on my feed is helpful to you. Okay, you can see how that was just a point of reaching out, building connection. You did not try to sell anything, and they're going to notice that. All right. Now, a quick time saver tip for you. Keep a basic outline of what you come up with. Take this template, make it your own, and then put that in your notes. And then you can just easily copy and paste, and then you can just customize that little connection point as you send these messages. Okay. All right, so idea number 1 is for you to connect with every new follower on your account by sending a direct message. Okay, engagement idea number 2. Every time you have a comment on your content, on your own post, on your video, I want you to reply back to that comment in the thread on your post, okay? So when there's a comment there, you can always hit reply. They will get a notification that you replied. And then I want you to go visit their profile and then comment on one of their posts, okay? Reciprocate that love that they just gave you. Now, why are we doing this? When your followers take the time to comment, I do not want you to take that lightly because they took time out of their day to leave a comment. So you want to reply back, right? Show a little bit of love, build that relationship. Because every comment matters. As I said in the beginning, people buy from people, and there is a person behind each one of these comments. Now, especially if these people are the ones that you're wanting to be your customers and they are your dream customers, but to be honest, even if they're not, it really makes you look better as a business if you are respecting each person that comes on there and just give a little bit of love, right? A little bit of reply. Now, also, the more that you engage with them, the more that you build that conversation, the more likely they are to continue engaging with your content, right? They're going to take notice. They're going to appreciate that. And especially if you go visit their page or profile and you leave a comment, that really is going to be take notice, because I can tell you not many people are doing that. And in addition, one other thing is that Instagram and Facebook have both said that they are placing extra value on meaningful conversations in the comments of posts when it comes to their algorithm, which we all know and love, right? So that means the more that you can encourage those conversations, the more you can help make that happen, the more you are going to help your content to be seen as engaging content by the algorithm, which means they're going to show it to more people, okay? Now, again, you may be thinking, all right, I get why I would need a comment back, right? But why do I actually need to take time to go to their profile and engage? Like I said, our goal here, right, is engaging with that dream customer and giving back. So when you do that, you are inviting engagement, you're building that relationship. And don't forget that when you do that, your dream customer probably has a lot of friends that are also your dream customer. And so when you're leaving comments on their content, the other friends and people that are leaving comments as well, they're going to see that. And then they're probably going to check out, who is this person or who is this business? And then they're going to go view your profile and see who you are. So it's creating additional awareness as well. Okay. All right. Time for idea number 3. Next, I want you to reply to the stories of your best fit audience. So hopefully you're following some of your best fit dream customers, right? That if you're not, definitely go do that. That can be your bonus idea today, okay? And so if you're following them, you're going to be seeing their stories show up in your feed, whatever platform it is, okay? So I want you to look for ways intentionally that you can reply to their stories. Now, again, this does take intentionality, because I know that sometimes it's not an easy second nature, but sometimes maybe they have a poll or a question that they're asking. I want you to don't skip by that, right? I want you to actually answer their questions, fill out their poll, do what you can to engage with their content. When you reply to a story, remember it goes to them as a direct message, okay? So they're going to take notice of that. They're going to notice. And again, remember your goal here, and that is so that you can engage with your dream customer. And when they need something, you want to be the one that's top of mind for that product or service that you provide. So the more that you are engaging, you're keeping yourself and your business top of mind for them. And it's not just top of mind of, oh yeah, I keep seeing that ad. It's more like, oh, actually they provided something really helpful, or they, encouraged me in this. And it's just adding more positive vibes so that as they think of your business and company and you, then that's what they're going to remember. Okay. All right. So 3 ideas. I know that you can do these things. I have a little bit more encouragement for you, okay? Why do you want to do this? Why do you need to do this? Here's the thing. On social media, what do we know? We often stay in our own bubble. We know it's called social media, but we get on that creation content and then we kind of forget to go engage. So this is a way for you to intentionally get outside of your own little business's bubble. So quit expecting people to come to you is what I'm trying to kindly say, right? Because so often what happens, and I hear from business owners is, hey, Denise, I'm posting regularly, but nobody is engaging with my content. Nobody is even replying or liking or anything like that. Now, of course, we talk about, well, it depends on what you're posting, right? Is it actually engaging content? But the other thing that I talk to them about is, what are you doing to intentionally go out and build those relationships? What are you doing to get outside of that bubble, get outside of your page and your feed, and go build relationships and invite engagement? That is why these 3 things are so important, because you need to get outside of your bubble and go do that. Now, you may also be saying, Denise, I hear you. I even believe you. But I don't see how I have time to do that. I barely have time to text back the people that I know, let alone send a direct message to somebody I don't even know. But here is what I know, my friend. We make time for the things that are important to us, right? It's just the truth. I am not saying this from a place of perfection at all. But even when I make statements that say I don't have time, I am learning to replace that with, I'm choosing not to make time for that right now. It's a choice, right? So here's the thing. If you want to build awareness about the products and services that your business provides, if that's important to you, then you, my friend, are going to figure out how to schedule 10 minutes in your day to engage intentionally on social media. That's just the truth. And it's going to help you. That's just the fact. I'm here to help provide you with practical tips, but I'm also here to help you apply those, right? So you can make it happen. Now, here's the thing. When you schedule it into your calendar, I want you to set a reminder for a time that you will actually do it. And then when you see that reminder go off on your phone, it's also a good time to remind yourself of why you're doing this in the first place. It's going to help you because the more people that you engage with, the more people that are going to learn about your programs, your products, and your services, and your horses, whatever it is you're trying to get out there into the world, right? The more that you engage, the more that's going to happen. And the more that you remember why, the more you're going to want to engage. Now, that's exactly why I want to invite you to join me for my new free online workshop. It's called Goal Setting for Equestrian Entrepreneurs. We're doing it in January. And the reason I picked goal setting and not just marketing as a whole for this free workshop is because, as you all know, I love to give you the marketing help. And I can do that all day long, and I will continue to do that in 2022. But if you don't see how it's connected to your overall business goals, to your personal why, to the tangible things that you want to see happen in the year, then you are going to be a lot less likely to do the work. For example, to take that 10 minutes a day to engage on social media. So as I said, I will keep giving you that marketing help, but I wanted to do something that would help you on those days when you just don't feel like getting on social media, and when you just don't feel like making that phone call or sending that email or that text. I'm going to share with you my 5-step process for setting goals that stick and how you can do it in a way that's going to help you crush those goals in 2022, okay? So head on over to stormlily.com/goalcrusher and get registered for the workshop today. And since it's free, I hope you will invite your friends to join you because one of the best ways to crush your goals is to have some accountability, right? So invite your friends, head over to stormlily.com/goalcrusher and get registered. You will see the date and the time there, and you can put it on your calendar. And don't worry if you can't make it live, there will be a recording for those of you who worry about that. But I hope you can join us live because that will be the most beneficial to you. You'll be more likely to take action when you do that. And of course, head over to the show notes at stormlily.com/59 for episode 59. I will have these 3 easy ways that you can engage with your dream customers listed out there for you. And of course, I'll have the link to the goal setting workshop as well. Okay. All right. I'm so grateful you're here today. I hope this information helps you. I hope that you start applying it right now. And I hope that you will join me for the workshop. But until then, have an awesome day.